Alright, hello everybody, it is Yami Fujita, and we are back again with Danganronpa 2, and Goodbye Despair, and continuing on with the 4th class trial. It went on for a while yesterday, because I really wanted to get as much done of it as possible. Right now, we are in the middle of having finally gotten an understanding of what happened to Nekomaru. And as you can see, Gundam already saying, so that's how the pillar shattered and why the oil was spilled all over the place. So we finally determined that the murder weapon was not the hammer, as we all knew from the very beginning, because the hammer looked way too clean. It was not the pillar, because nobody is strong enough to move that on their own. The murder weapon was the elevator. And not necessarily just the elevator, it was the structure of the entire funhouse, which led everybody to find out from Nagito, basically, like spoon-feeding us, holding our hand through figuring this out. The killer knew all along the truth about the structure of this funhouse. And we learned it throughout this trial so far. There is no... Well, there is a strawberry house and a grape house, that part we knew. But they're not necessarily two separate buildings. They're all a part of one giant building. This is the funhouse. The strawberry house and the grape house are just two similar but distinct areas that are both 3 floors long, but they are all a part of an in total 6-floor building, with the strawberry house being on top of the grape house. The contact elevator, which everybody gets in to go between the two houses, it was determined that something that I knew ever since Kaz mentioned what happened to the compass. The elevator does not just go up and down. It goes down and then around. It goes from the strawberry house, it goes down to the grape house's position, and then around to the other side of it. He said that he had a compass that rotated 180 degrees upon going down the elevator. That is why the tunnels were on opposite sides each time you entered either the strawberry house or the grape house. The tunnels were on opposite sides of the elevator. But it was also determined that the floor inside Grape Tower or Strawberry Tower, that floor is also an elevator. And that particular elevator is what we used in the process of killing Nekomaru. The killer knew all along the secret behind the structure of this building. They knew that the floor was an elevator. So, what they did was, they tied Nekomaru up with the wire that they got from the Octagon, which the Octagon is the room behind the secret dead room. You can only access that by playing the life-threatening game, which, playing as Nagito, we did. So that's how Nagito was able to find that out. But the killer already knew that. So they must have did it, they had to have done it before Nagito did. Because the killer already knew all this stuff. They got the wire from that room. It was metal hanging wire. I guess that's what it was, like some kind of metal hanging wire. They wrapped Nekomaru's body up in that wire. They tied the other end of the wire into a loop. And they hung that end of the wire on the doorknob to the grape house. Or grape tower. They hung that loop on the doorknob. Because remember, or door handle, Nagito found something that we did not find. He found a broken door handle on the floor. that wire loop was hung on that door handle, and then they lowered the platform. They lowered the floor, leaving Nekomaru's body suspended off the door handle, hanging in midair. And Nekomaru's weight caused the door handle to pop off the door, causing him to fall to his death, hitting the pillar, causing the pillar to fall and break, which describes why there is oil on the pillar. And Nekomaru collided with the pillar, and that was what killed him. The killer took advantage of the clock that Nekomaru has a clock, took advantage of the fact that Nekomaru has a clock inside of him that is supposed to wake him out of his sleep mode if he enters into it. That clock is supposed to wake him up out of it. The killer set that clock alarm to 2 hours after the time of the murder, so that Nekomaru couldn't wake up. And after the murder was complete, in order to hide the entire secret of the funhouse, they chained the door to the Strawberry Tower, and they chained it shut, and they broke the panel on the other side that would have allowed you to open the door. And then they also broke the contact elevator, so that we wouldn't find out the secret of the building structure whatsoever. So that we wouldn't find out that the Grape Tower and Strawberry Tower are all part of the same building. We wouldn't find out that the contact elevator, rotates around the overall building. So that we wouldn't find out that the floor inside of the towers is also an elevator. But they failed, because we found all of that out. You can't hide from us. We are gonna crack this code, and it is time to determine who the killer is. So here we go. So that's how the pillar shattered and while oil spilled all over the place. And no, that does not mean the pillar was the weapon, Akane.
柱はおまけみたいなもんだけどね。犯人の狙いなのか偶然なのかもはっきりしないしさ。
ではそこから犯人
Yeah,
につな
exactly.
がる
It's
手
not
が
even
か
clear
りを
if that
見
was
つけるの
intended.
が難しいのですね。
And that's how I feel.
あのアラームタイマーの方はどうだ?
And that's how I feel as well. I am completely stumped on who the killer could possibly be. Like, I do not have a guess. But if I had to come up with 3 primary suspects, which lets you know that I already did. If I had to come up with primary suspects, I have 3 in mind. Some people who are ruled out, obviously Hajime, Akane, Chiaki, Nagito, they're all ruled out. Nagito is, again, he's I don't think that he will commit a murder in this game. He's gonna live through this entire game and torture us, as he's been doing now. And Hajime, as the protagonist, I don't see him committing a murder and getting executed. Chiaki seems like the Kyoko of this game, or the Kyoko of this game, the primary support character for Hajime. Another character that I'm ruling out is Kaz. I do not think that Kaz is the killer. Even though, yes, he is the one who fixed the elevator and the panel. I can't use that as a means of accusing him of breaking them in the first place. So, I don't know. I really don't know if he's the killer. So, the 3 people that I am suspecting are, once again, Sonia. I've been suspecting Sonia in every class trial since the second one, and I've been wrong every time so far. But I don't know why, it always feels like she does something suspicious. During the second incident, it was her infatuation with a serial killer. And during the third incident, it was the fact that she somehow knew that there was a standing mirror in the storage room of the music venue when nobody else had been in that venue. Or nobody else had been in that storage room. And now in this one, it's the fact that her and the other person on my, who I'm suspecting, Gundam, like, every time everybody wanted to split up into groups, those two paired up without a word. They paired up and left without a word. And it just felt very suspicious. It's like, how are they just, like, out of all people, out of all pairings, how are they all of a sudden so buddy-buddy? And just taking off without a word. Like, it happened twice. Both times where they wanted to split up in groups. Kaz tried to get with Sonya and he was told she already left with Gundam. It just feels suspicious. And then the third person that I am suspecting once again is the person that you just saw talking right now. Oh, once again, Fuyuhiko is another person I'm suspecting. Because at this point, I really don't know if he will commit a murder in this game. It seems too obvious because he's a Yakuza. But, he just mentioned why I'm suspecting him. He just said it, then what about the alarm? There was an alarm that went off prior to Nekomaru's death. There was a big clock that was ringing prior to Nekomaru's death. It was not until after Fuyuhiko, Kaz, and Gundam discovered that clock that they then heard a loud rumbling sound, like a loud thud. So, one of those three, that means that one of those three, like, I'll include Kaz too, but I really don't know if he did it. One of them set a second alarm. And I'm not sure what for.
アラームが7時30分に設定されてたのは確かだし、そこから割り出していけば。
Okay.
待て、ちびっこギャング。
No, why is she saying hold on? And did he say something that he wasn't supposed to say? Because again, yeah, nobody else had mentioned that there was a second alarm. Clock that was set for 7:30. And nobody else mentioned that. And yeah, why is she calling him baby gangster? Like, you stop? Yup. Yes. She just caught him saying something that nobody else has said. And nobody else said anything about a second alarm being set for 7:30. And nobody else said that. Okay, yeah, no, he's talking about, yeah, Nekomaru's clock was set for 7:30. Okay, he's talking about that clock. Okay. That's impossible. How?
俺はちっと遅れちまったけど、それでも朝7時にはタワーに行ったぞ。
そういえば私もそうです。
Okay, so they got to the Tai Chi thing at 7.
この熊太極拳に遅れるわけにはいかないので、朝7時前にはマスカットタワーに行きましたよ。
そこで2台の死体を見つけたってことは、俺らは7時30分のアラームより前。
Yes. That's why they said that the killer set the alarm for 2 hours. Well, that's why I said the killer set the alarm for 2 hours after the time of the death. I mean, he died way before 7:30. I mean, he died at 5:30. That was set in the Monokuma file. I believe it was set in the Monokuma file. Oh, no. No, there was no mention of a time of death. I forget who mentioned... Somebody mentioned a time. Yeah, apparently Akane heard a rumbling noise at 5:30. So that's why she's talking now. She believes that the time of death is 5:30.
またもや矛盾が生まれたようだな。なぜ7時30分のアラームで死んだ2台の死体を7時にタワーに行った貴様らが発見できたのだ。
And how were you able to discover him dead at 7:30 if you went to the tower at 7?
そんなの俺が聞きてえっつーの。
Another mystery I don't understand. Seriously, it's just one after another. Yeah, I know, right? This has been the most convoluted. This has been the most convoluted one so far. It keeps getting more and more confusing. Like, I was trying to explain everything that they were saying last night, and I was just confusing myself. But I can't choke up at a time like this. Just a little more and I'll be able to reach the truth. There should definitely be a clue to breaking through this contradiction. Alright. Oh yeah, that's right. Like I said, I am not getting any more answers wrong. I'm done. I'm tired of constantly getting B's. B is not bad, it's just... Like, I'm tired of getting the B grade. I feel like it's because my health is not high enough. Wait. Just gonna make sure I'm not, Okay, I think we are past this. Yeah, I'm past this now. Okay. Okay. Okay, I know what to do.
私たちがタワーに向かったのは間違いなく朝7
Yes,
時
I'm
前
right.
で
It's
す。
right.
けど2台の胸のアラームは7時30分に設定されてたぞ。
It was set for 7:30.
2台はそのアラームのせいで死んだんだよな。
Because of that alarm? No, that's not possible.
どちらかが幻影ということだ。
どうせ犯人の偽装工作だろ。犯人は2台の胸の時計。
Yeah, but they messed with the clock. They had to have messed with the clock, like I said. They set the alarm for 2 hours after the killing actually happened.
電波時計だから狂うことはまずありえないらしい。
Okay, no, wait, yup.
偽装
So,
工作が入る余地はねえってことか。
yeah, so again, that was something that I, forgot about. His clock is, Nekomaru's clock that's inside of his chest is a radio clock that cannot be tampered with, according to what they've been talking about. It's supposed to be a very accurate, pretty much self-aware clock, almost. But we'll see if that theory is actually true. There has to be a way. No. Maybe they didn't mess with his clock, they messed with the other one, because again, there was another clock alarm that went off. It wasn't Nekomaru's clock that went off, it was another one that went off. They're gonna get to that.
もしかしてソニアさんたちが見た時計の方が狂わされてたんじゃないですかね。
And what was the one that she
マ
saw?
スカットハウスの時計
This
が
one inside Great House?
いや、
I checked all the
俺は
clocks
ドッ
inside
キリ
the
ハウ
fun
ス
house
内の
already.
全ての時計を調べてみたけどよ。
You checked all the clocks inside the fun house?
僕がお願いしておいたやつだね。ちゃんと建物内
Oh,
の
that
時
he
計を
actually
調
do
べて
that.
おいてくれたんだ。
So you checked all the clocks and not a single one of them were messed with? Then why did one of them go off?
おかげで断言できるぜ。どの時計もちゃんと同じ時刻を指してたってな。
They all had the same time display, but was that a trick?
時刻が狂っていた可能性がないなら、やはり疑うべきは人間の証言の方か。
Doubt that human
信じてくだ
testimony?
さい。私たちは嘘などついておりません。
じゃあ勘違いしたのかな。
俺は勘違いなんかしねえよ。すりつぶしてドッグフードにすんぞ。
This time-related contradiction, I don't think I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. There's no mistake that something was done. Something had to have been done to the clocks. But what was it? Perhaps we've overlooked something. Maybe we're misunderstanding something. I'm misunderstanding a lot of things. Hank, if I focus and think, I should be able to find the answer to that mystery. There was some clock that one of the clocks had to have been tampered with. In some way. Oh, I was about to say, Hangman's Gambit, I'm not gonna know what to do. Alright, logic dive. Here we go. Nope, stay right there. Alright. Go this way. Question 1. What did Hajime and the others misunderstand? Where the murder happened, the time, and the building. The time and the building, they had to have misunderstood that. Yes, the time and the building is what's being misunderstood. I was getting multiple questions wrong last night. Just being utterly stupid, just not understanding what happened at all. Oh, that was close. This music is ridiculous. Alright, question 2. Which clock was tampered with? Nekomaru's radio, the building's clock, or both? It had to be the building's clock. Or was it both? No, it wasn't both. It was the building's clock. The building's clock was tampered with. That's the one that the alarm went off on. Alright. Question 3. Which house had the wrong time? The grape house, both houses, or the strawberry house? The strawberry house, right? No, not the strawberry house. So, we'll try the grape house then. If it wasn't the grape house, then it was both houses. It was both houses. Both houses had the... So, both houses had the wrong time. Both houses' clocks were tampered with. Alright, that was the last question. So, both houses' clocks were tampered with. They had time to tamper with the clocks in both houses.
フズリュウは建物の中のすべての時計を確認したって言ってたよな。
どこにも狂った時計なんてなかったぜ。
Are you sure? How is that possible? How could none of the clocks have had the wrong time?
でも、そのすべての時計の時間が均等に狂わされていたとしたらどうだ？
すべての時計だと？
That's why I said, what if that was a trap?
だったらいくら建物内の時計を調べたところで気がつけるわけがないよな。なるほど。犯人は建物内のすべての時計を狂わせることで建物内の時間ごと狂わせてたんだね。
And they did that so that Nekomaru's clocks would in turn screw up.
これまたファンタスティックだね。安心してる場
Because
合じゃ
again,
ね
his
えだ
is a
ろ。
radio clock.
それよりその時間はどれだけずらされてたんだ？
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say what I've been saying, 2 hours. That's the main problem. I need to clarify by how much the time was off after the killer messed with the clocks. Akane's account said that he heard a fumbling noise at 5:30. That's gonna reach the truth in one go. Akane's account said that she heard a loud rumbling at 5:30. Yup, Akane's account. So it has to be that.
建物の時計が全部狂ってたってことは正確なのは2台の電波時計だけかよ。 あいつが死んだのは間違いなく7時30分
And no, it's not. Okay, well, that's the wrong bullet. Wait.
しまった
Okay, so no, that wasn't the correct thing to shoot at. Or maybe I'm on the wrong bullet. We'll see. No, I have the right bullet selected. I have the right bullet selected. Alright, okay. Yeah, I have the right bullet selected.
狂ってたってことは正確なのは2台の電波だあいつが死んだのは
The time of death was not 7:30.
30分だったんだ
It was not 7:30, but that's not the thing. It was
我らにとって何時だったかということ
in
だ
our time.
目安になりそうな手がかりはないかな
We used to narrow that down.
墜落した時の音でも
それに賛成
If
だ
only we heard where he fell.
そうだ墜落した時の音なら聞いてるはずだあの地響きみたいな音がそうなんじゃないのか
地響き
Well,
地震かと思って
rumbling or a
二
loud
度寝しちま
thud.
ったけどあれって2台が墜落した時の音だったのか
Absolutely.
だって4階から1階にあの巨体が落下してしかも柱まで一緒に倒れたんだぞあれくらいの衝撃音があって当然だったんだよ
その音なら俺らも聞いたぞ
我ら3人がちょうどストロベリーハウスのラウンジに集まっていた時だった
Oh, why is the screen keep flashing? Wait, hold on. What did he just say? It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. We heard that noise. It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. It was when I was asleep. That's when Hajime heard it.
どうしたメス猫
いえ皆さんが聞いているその音なのですが私は全く気がつきませんでし
You
た
didn't hear it at all? How?
寝てて気づかなかっただけじゃないですか
Again, Hajime was asleep. He
昨
was
晩は
woken out of
寝
his
不足の
sleep
せい
from
か
it.
一睡もできなくてだから一晩中ずっと起きていたのですが
気にするほどのことでもないっすよ大事なのはその地響
And
きの
her
方です
hunger
し
pangs were definitely bad because she started having visions, hallucinations.
とりあえずその地響きを目安にして考えれば
We gotta see
僕
if
らの
maybe
時間
that's
がどれだけずらされたかわかるかもね
suspicion there.
あの音が聞こえたのは
Yep, there you
朝の
go.
5時30分くらいだったな
わかるの
What do you mean
飛
you
び
can
起きて
tell?
部屋を飛び出しちまってさその時にラウンジの時計を見たんだよ
You saw the clock in the lounge.
それはでかしましたよ終わり
So
さん
was the clock wrong then? If that rumbling sound we heard was at 5:30, it's like the answer to how much our time was off is literally right in front of me. Yes, 2 hours.
そうか
That's like I said.
7時30分のアラームで2台が墜落した時の音を俺たちが5時30分に聞いてたとなると俺たちの時間は2時間ずらされてたってことだ
Yeah, so remember I was right to say that right when I read that truth bullet that Akane heard the sound at 5:30. I said that means that the killer set his clock or tampered with the clocks to make sure that Nekomaru couldn't wake up, setting it 2 hours ahead of the time of the death. But then we just heard you can't tamper with his clock, so they tampered with the clocks throughout the building instead. But now, what did they do to make it so that Nekomaru's clock was 2 hours ahead? We gotta figure out what exactly they did to make it so that it was 2 hours ahead. Hang on a second. Alright.
2時間もか
Yes, that much.
俺らはかなり衰弱した状態だったからな。あれじゃあ気づけるわけねえぜ。
I mean, I don't know if that's
それにあのドッキリ
why
ハウ
we
ス
didn't
には
notice.
窓もねえし、モノクマアナウンスもなかったもんな。だが犯人は何のために時間をずらしたのだ。
理由なら
I'm
はっき
sure
り
we'll
してる
figure
で
that
しょ
out.
二代君だけをおびき寄せるため
Oh,
に
yep.
やったんだ。
That makes the most sense. They messed with the time so that Nekomaru would think that it was actually 7 o'clock, 7:30, and lure him out. I have no idea how they were able to mess with his clock. His clock is supposed to be precise, like very accurate. It's a radio clock. Let me just look up some. Maybe it says it in the Truth Bullets. Somewhere in the Truth Bullets, it talks about not this clock. At 5:30 a.m., the alarm of a wall clock in the lounge on Strawberry House's second floor went off. Fuyuhika was at the lounge by coincidence. See, when you say he was at the lounge by coincidence, that's why I have suspicion about him. Managed to stop the alarm, but Kazuichi and Gundam rushed to the lounge after being alerted by the sound. Nagito was the only one who apparently knew nothing about it. Well, that's not what I was going to look at. It has to say it somewhere. Clock's alarm timer. Nekomaru's... They are making way too many typos on this. Nekomaru used this alarm clock to recover from sleep mode. The clock's arms are stopped at around 7:30, and the alarm was set to 7:30 as well. It looks like it stopped past 7:30. So his alarm, it can't be that it never went off. It went off because he got up. So that's what happened. His alarm went off, but somebody tricked him into thinking that it was 7:30. Lure out only Nekomaru?
ほら、時計を狂わせた上であることを利用すれば、必ず二代君だけをタワーにおびき寄せられるでしょ。
What specific thing?
そして犯人の目論見は見事に成功した。そういうことだったんだよ。
Besides messing with the time, the killer also used a specific thing. If they were trying to lure only Nekomaru, then that specific thing is... massage time? Massage time or the clock's alarm. So no, not the clock's alarm.
そう。
So then, it has to be the massage time.
So.
It's neither of those things. So Monokuma Tai Chi.
そうか。朝のモノクマ太極拳か。犯人はあのイベントを利用したんだな。
Made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
利用したんだ。
Yeah, how so?
僕たちはあのイベントのために毎朝7時にマスカットタワーに行く必要があったよ
Oh,
ね。
that's right, at 7.
でもそこで建物内すべての時計が狂わされたら僕たちはどうなってしまうかな。時間通りにはタワーに行けなくなる。だけど2台だけは別だ。
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to attend it on time, but Nekomaru still would.
あいつには電波時計っていう正確な時計があったからな。そう。犯人はそうやって彼だけが正確な時間にタワーに来るよう仕向けたんだ。
じゃあ俺が明け方に目撃した2台ってのは
It wasn't actually 7 o'clock or 7:30.
彼を目撃したのは朝5時くらいだったっけ。
You witnessed him around 5 a.m.
その時間も2時間ずれて7時だったはずだから、確かにそうだね。
So it should have been 7 a.m.
その時の彼は時間通りにモノクマ太極拳に向かうところだった。
So we were the ones that believed at the time was what it wasn't. And Nekomaru's radio clock cannot be messed with. He had the right time. The killer set the clocks 2 hours back. But Nekomaru's radio, now I finally understand. I don't know why it takes so long for me. And Nekomaru has a radio clock. It can never be inaccurate. It can never be inaccurate. Like, let me just Google. Radio controlled clocks are extremely precise, typically accurate within 2.5 seconds per day. As they synchronize daily with atomic time signals, they automatically correct for time drift, daylight saving, and leap years. While they offer exceptional actionable accuracy for daily life, they are not as precise as the atomic clocks they sync with, often facing small limitations from signal transmission times, according to the... Okay. Well, so radio clocks use a signal. That signal is, entirely dependent on what happens throughout the day, and like I just read, things like daylight savings time and things like that, it factors all that in and adjusts the time accordingly. And Nekomaru's clock cannot be wrong. It was actually 7 in the morning. But because the other clocks in the building were set 2 hours back, we believed it was 5 in the morning. Or Fuyuhiko believed it was 5 in the morning, when it was actually 7, which is why Nekomaru is seen going down the steps.
そうか、今考えると、あの時のモノクマの言葉もそういう意味だったんだな。
How outrageous. I honestly didn't expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Tai Chi, but it turned out like this after all, so I guess it can't be helped.
あの時の全員って言葉には俺たちも含まれてたんだな。俺たちは時間通りにタワーに行ったつもりだったけど、実はとっくに集合時間を過ぎてたんだ。
Yeah, like 2 hours passed.
やだやだ、そういうのってさ、こう言うんだよ。なんだっけ、ほら、足の天ぷら的なあれだよ。
What?
目足を取るでしょ。残念でした。嘘だ、当たってるよ。違うの、正解なの。絶対に正解です。
Oh my gosh.
そうやってすぐ横になる。
Can you two please?
相変わらずうるさい2人は放っておいて。
Yeah, please. Ignore the peanut
今ので
gallery.
二代君をおびき寄せた方法も分かったし、これで犯人もだいぶ絞れそうだね。
Number of suspects is drastically decreased. Yup. So that specific fact, that specific situation. I know I'm sorry I'm pausing so much, but I'm just trying to commentate over this to make sure I understand all of it. Now that we know that the killer lured Nekomaru to Tai Chi by messing with the clocks, so that only he would get up at the right time and everybody else would be late. That limits the amount of suspects. And in all honesty, if Fuyuhiko is the one who noticed him, what was Fuyuhiko doing up? If everybody else was under the impression that it was 5 in the morning, then what was Fuyuhiko doing up and out of his room? How was he able to see Nekomaru going down the stairs? That, to me, tells me that he was aware that this was gonna happen. That to me makes me suspicious that he's the one who set all of it up. Now, but maybe somebody else is playing me. So, huh?
おい、
どうして今の話で犯人が絞れんだよ。不可視こいてんじゃねえぞ。
僕が
You
こ
sure?
うじゃないってことは今のクズリュウ君の話の続きを聞けばわかるはずだよ。
When you listen to, oh, so now he's pointing out Fuyuhiko. No, why didn't you just single him out?
ああ、なんだそりゃ。
君は二代君がタワーに向かうところを目撃した。
Yeah, and he's gonna say exactly what I just said. If everybody was under the impression that it was 5 in the morning, then what were you still doing up?
もしかしてあのアラームのことを言ってんのか？
Alarm? Nobody even mentioned an alarm.
俺が2台を目撃したしばらく後にストロベリーハウスのラウンジで時計が鳴ったんだ。しかもあれは地響きが聞こえる直前。そうか、そういうことか。あの地響きの時に2台が死んだとすると、その時にアリバイがなかったやつが怪しいってことだろう。
Everybody has an alibi, Fuyuhiko. Everybody was asleep. Akane was woken up out of her sleep when she heard the rumbling. Everybody else was knocked out. Everybody was asleep. We're trying to understand how you were outside of your room. If everybody was under the impression that it was 5 in the morning and not 7 in the morning. That to me is telling me that you knew that the clock was wrong. And that it was actually 7, so you started walking out.
いるのか？その時にアリバイがなかったやつが。
Everyone has an alibi.
俺も思い出したぞ。思わず部屋を飛び出しちまうくらいのでけえ音なのに。
Exactly. The sound is what alerted everybody else. Yeah, now I really don't think that Kaz is the killer. Kaz is definitely not the killer. Everybody else was alerted by the sound. Nobody was up until that sound happened. The only one who was up, there were only 2 people who were aware that it was actually 7 and not 5. That was Nekomaru because of his very accurate radio clock, and apparently Fuyuhiko. Because you were up and you saw him, what were you doing out of your room?
同じ階の客室にいたはずなのに、そいつだけ出てこねえなんておかしいよな。
つまりその方には二代さんが墜落した時のアリバイがない。
For when Nekomaru fell?
誰だ？そいつは誰なんだよ。
It's whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time. Like, there's no way it's not Fuyuhiko. Well, I can't look at the transcripts now. I can't look at the transcripts. I just went over Gundam's face and just realized... What was Gundam's alibi? Was he also alerted by... Was he also alerted by the alarm? They said Nagito was the only one who didn't hear it, so he heard it too. It's whoever doesn't have an alibi for when he fell. I can't get any more answers wrong here, but I really do have a feeling that it's Fuyuhiko. I really do have a feeling. They said who doesn't have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell. Everybody else was asleep and was alerted by the sound of the rumbling and the alarm. Like, I'm so determined to just and not even look up the answer and click on Fuyuhiko. If it's like, I'm just gonna take the risk because like, I don't know who else it possibly could be. Like, I really don't know who else it could possibly be. Like, we haven't heard Chiaki or Sonya. No, Sonya definitely has. Sonya said she... No, wait. Sonya said she didn't hear it. Alright, so... a final answer for primary suspects. And number 1 is still Fuyuhiko. And number 2, I'm gonna have to say, is Sonya. Because she said that she didn't hear anything. She said that she didn't hear an alarm. At least, she didn't hear an alarm. And the third primary suspect would have to be Gundam. So, if it's not Fuyuhiko and it's not Sonya, then it's Gundam. If all 3 of them are wrong, I'm gonna lose a crap ton of health for getting this wrong. I'm not even gonna look up the answer. I'm just gonna try to select it. But I'm starting with you. Lounge before the clock started ringing. I also saw Nekomaru head downstairs before that happened. After the clock started ringing at the lounge, the others came over. I was with them even during the rumbling noise we heard from Nekomaru. So, no, he does have an alibi. Which means the next person who does not have an alibi is you, Sonya. Because she said that she could not hear it. Oh, let's see if it's her. It's not her. So, it's not her. Oh, the last person on my itinerary is Gundam. But before I click him, because I'm not going to keep on getting it wrong here. Oh, that's right. No, it's none of the people that I'm thinking. The answer was right in front of me in the Monokuma file. This person said that they didn't hear anything whatsoever. Nagito is not the killer, but he didn't hear a single thing.
そこにいなかったやつって狛枝だよな。
そうなんだよ。
And Nagito wasn't there, but that does not prove that he's the killer. But they're going the wrong way with this.
あの場に集まったのは俺と田中とクズリュウだけだったぞ。
あれだけでかい音でアラームが鳴ったのに部屋から出てこなかったって
Yeah, he
こと
didn't show
は
up even though the alarm was going off.
もしかしておめえは部屋にいなかったんじゃねえのか
Yeah, where were you, Nagito?
だとしたらどこ行ってたんだよ。
Was he still in the final dead room?
何かおっしゃってください。
No, what is that where he was when all that happened?
さっさと答えねえとブランチかますぞ。単刀直入に答えるとね、僕はラウンジに行きたくても行けなかったんだよ。行けなかったってどういう意味だ？
Because he was in the final dead room.
どうせ弱者のたわごとだ。
僕にはね、そのアラームはもちろん。
You never even heard the rumbling sound either? Wait, so when did you determine?
ですが、
No, but you were told that Nekomaru died before you went in the final dead room. And no, this was way before you went in the final dead room. All this stuff happened. So yeah, what on earth were you doing? He was not in the final dead room at the time that this happened. What were you doing? True for you
ストロ
too.
ベリーハウスのアラームが聞こえなかったのは当然だと思うのですが、地響きまで聞いていないなんて変ですよね。だって他の皆さんはちゃんと聞いているのに。
Oh, what were you two doing?
実はその2人だけじゃなく
Oh,
て
she didn't hear it either. So
私もそうなんだよね。
yeah, there's 3 people who didn't hear it. What is going on? And Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki all say now that they did not hear a rumbling or an alarm. Huh?
すっかり熟睡しちゃってたから
Deep sleep.
そのせいで気がつかなかったのかと思ってたけど、そうじゃなくて私は地響きの音に気づけなかったのかもね。
But why? How is it that only a certain people could hear it?
どういう意味でまだわからないの？そんなのは音を聞いてない3人の共通点を考えてみればすぐにわかると思うんだけどな。
Well, before he says it, let me try to figure it out. And I know that that's already gonna be difficult for me. Oh, what do Nagito, Chiaki, and Sonia all have in common? The fact that none of them heard. Oh, what rooms were they staying in? Because if they were in the highest quality rooms, is that why they couldn't hear it? Everybody else was in crappy rooms. That's probably what it is. And they probably were in the good quality rooms. And the sound quality is so good in those rooms that they couldn't even hear any disturbance. Now let's see if that's what it is. The only people who didn't hear the rumbling noise were Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The secret is what these 3 have in common. Could this also be the secret that points to the killer? So does this mean that the killer is one of them? Hangman's Gambit. Oh God. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. What do they all have in common? D. Is there an E? Det. D, E. Is there an L? Yes. Is there another L? No. Is there a U? Deluxe. The deluxe rooms. I was right. It's because they had the deluxe rooms. I need an R. I was right. It's because they all stayed in the highest quality rooms. I love it when I'm able to use my brain. Because... Oh, I need 2 O's. I need an M. Oh, there's an M. And then now I need an S. The deluxe rooms. Yeah, so I was right.
お前だとソニアとナナミって3人とも豪華な客室に泊まってたよな。
Yeah, I love when I'm able to get something right, because seriously, it is difficult.
それで思い出したぞ。確か あそこの豪華な客室って
Everybody else was staying in crappy rooms or standard rooms, quality rooms. The guest rooms are divided up by quality grade. The deluxe room is soundproof and has excellent air insulation. The standard room may have so-so insulation, but it's still pretty decent, and the crummy room has severe airflow and draft problems.
もしや地響きの音が聞こえなかった理由って？
そう豪華な客室の優れた防音性のせいだったんだ。やるねひなとくん、それに気づくとはね。それが君の超高校級の予備学科の実力なのかな？
Yes.
さて、そんな君ならもう分かったんじゃない？二代君を殺した犯人の正体がさ。ちょっと待てよ。
Yeah,
どうして今の話で犯人が
why does that tell you who the killer is? So is he trying to say that the killer is either Chiaki or Sonia? Like, the only thing that I can think of for why the killer would... Why the deluxe room would lead to a killer... Maybe they didn't want to hear it happen? Or maybe they intentionally picked that room with every intention to commit the murder so that they can then turn around and tell people that they couldn't hear anything. But they know it happened. I think that by using a deluxe room, it was to divert blame from them. To try to divert the blame from them.
どうしてって。だって今の事実が犯人の決め手となる重要な手がかりだからだよ。
犯人の決め手だと？
My primary suspect is not Fuyuhiko anymore. Somehow I feel like I understand what Nagito means. He is not my primary suspect anymore. The person that I said was my secondary suspect was Sonia. If Nagito is implying that the killer used a deluxe room, that means the killer is either Chiaki or Sonia. Because it's not Nagito. The killer among us, the killer who murdered Nekomaru, I cannot possibly get any lower in health. But it is either Chiaki or Sonia. So, I'm gonna click Sonia. If she's the correct answer. Like, I don't want to risk losing any more health. Because that's gonna affect the final grade. But I intend to select Sonia as being the killer. I intend to pick Sonia. And I'm wrong again. It was the third person on my list of primary suspects. I said that my final three primary suspects were Fuyuhiko, Sonia, and Gundam. And Gundam, there is something we need to ask you. Now, before he says it, how on earth is Gundam the answer? Because my only reason for suspecting Gundam at all was because he and Sonya kept dipping off together. Randomly. Without saying anything. Like, I just found it to be such an odd pairing. And didn't understand why it was without any communication. Wait. Now, Gundam always says stuff that makes me think that he lives in a fantasy world, but I just remember one thing that he said during the investigation. He said, "I have returned from the depths of hell." What do you mean by that? Seriously. What do you mean by anything you say? But especially, what do you mean by that? I'm just trying to look through the accounts, the truth bullets, to figure out it just receives radio waves at fixed intervals and automatically adjusts itself if its time is off. It was right there. I could have just read this. Can't be tampered with. Alright, what is he gonna ask him?
ストロベリーハウスのラウンジでアラームが鳴った時、お前もその場に駆けつけたんだよな。
それがどうした？漆黒の闇夜に鳴り響く破滅の福音が聞こえれば、それを止めに行くのが宇宙の摂理。
どうして聞こえたんだ？
Why were you able to hear it?
何かと。
だってお前が泊まってたのも豪華な客室だったよ。
I missed it. Like, hold on. The three of you were staying in a deluxe room. No, Gundam wasn't staying in a deluxe room. Gundam was not staying. It may have so-so insulation, but it's still pretty decent.
同じ建物の同じ階の同じ豪華な客室に泊まってた狛枝には聞こえてないのに。
I thought they said he wasn't staying in a deluxe. They only mentioned Nagito, Chiaki, and Sonya.
どうしてお前はそのアラームの音を聞くことができたんだよ。
あれ？
田中さん？
考えられる可能性は一つだけだ。その時お前は部屋にいなかったんだよ。だから豪華な客室に泊まってたにもかかわらずラウンジに来ることができたんじゃないのか？
Okay, yeah, now I need to go back to a previous video and watch something because it was never mentioned that that's where he was. I need to go back to a previous video. Well, when did they decide that they were gonna stay? In certain rooms. Right now, they're still looking at stuff. Alright, just hang on, guys. No, it wasn't in this video. It was in a different video. Hang on. Okay, hang on. I'm trying to find the part where they... I'm trying to find the part where they all deliberate about what rooms they're trying to stay in. Because like I don't remember. This is when they first arrived in the place. No, it might have been in that video that I was on the first time. I'm trying to find when they all decided. Like, I really am trying to find this because this is important. I know I'm taking up a lot of time here, but I'm trying to find when they all decided what rooms they were going to stay in. No, they already decided at this point. Okay, yes, it is this video. So, come back. Okay, so yes, yeah, nobody brought it up until Hajime just said it. There was a rock paper scissors thing. I believe that's what they played to determine what rooms people got, and Gundam took second place in that game, and because of that, he and the first place winner got deluxe rooms. And the other person probably being Nagito. Because Nagito and Gundam were in the same place. So, yes, it's true. A Gundam was in a deluxe room. It's just, it was so long ago. Not really a long time ago, but it was a couple streams ago. And the streams lately have been so long that I had completely forgotten that Gundam was staying in a deluxe room. So, Gundam was my third suspect, but I had the right person but the wrong reasoning. I had completely forgotten about the fact that he was actually staying in a deluxe room. So yes, he just completely gave himself away. How were you able to hear the alarm if you were staying in a deluxe room which is supposed to be soundproof?
中さん、何か理由があるのですよね。
おそらく田中君は九頭龍君のせいで泊まってた部屋に帰れなかったんだよ。
Because of Fuyuhiko being there.
俺のせいで？
九頭龍君はタワーに向かう二代君を目撃した後、しばらくラウンジに残ったままだったんだよね。そこで鳴ったアラームを聞くまでずっとだったよね。
Until the moment the alarm started ringing.
そんな風にずっとラウンジに居座られたら、その前に出かけてた犯人が戻れなくなって当然だよね。
メカ二代君の殺害は彼の胸のアラームを使ったある意味自動殺人だったわけだけど、その前のいろんな準備はどれも犯人自身の手でやる必要があったはず。
2台をスリープモードにしたり、あいつをワイヤーで縛ったりとかだな。
Yep.
そのためにも犯人は2台がタワーに現れる前に同じ場所に先回りしている必要がある。
So that means that if Gundam is actually the killer, if he went into the lounge and saw Fuyuhiko already there, then that means then yes, that he suspected that Fuyuhiko probably saw Nekomaru walking down the steps, and so he couldn't let Fuyuhiko remember that he wasn't supposed to ever hear an alarm sound. But I mean, either way, if Fuyuhiko just simply remembered from the beginning that Gundam was in a room, then him seeing Gundam in the lounge should have made him suspicious of Gundam at the very beginning. If Fuyuhiko knew from the start that Gundam was in a deluxe room and wasn't supposed to hear anything, then seeing Gundam in the lounge should have made Fuyuhiko instantly suspicious.
つまり九頭龍が2台を目撃した時点で犯人はすでにタワーに行ってたはずなんだ。
The killer was already at the tower waiting.
ラウンジに九頭龍がいて戻れなかったんだな。
Yeah, but they couldn't go back because Fuyuhiko was standing right in the lounge. He did not want to be caught.
当初の計画ではラウンジのアラームが鳴る前に犯人は部屋に戻っているはずだったんだろうね。
But they weren't able to do so.
そしてそのまま部屋の中にいるはずだった。ラウンジに出ていく予定じゃなかったんだよ。
そうすればアラームや地響きに気づかなかったことがそのまま自分が部屋にいたことの証明になる。
今の私たちのようにですね。
もしラウンジの2人が部屋まで様子を見に来てくれたらそっちの方がベストなんだろうけどね。だって部屋で自分が寝ている姿を見せられればさらに強固な印象のアリバイが完成するわ。ただ残念ながらそのアリバイ工作は失敗に終わった。
Yeah, I completely missed the fact that Gundam was staying in a deluxe room. It has been a number of hours since that point in that stream, and it was 2 streams ago. It was part 14 when everybody decided what rooms they were going to be staying in. I knew that Gundam was in the Strawberry House, but I did not know, I forgot that he was staying in a deluxe room.
俺がラウンジにいたせいでか。
そして犯人は部屋に戻る機会を失ったままラウンジのアラームを聞くことになってしまって。
And Gundam, I knew that you were just completely out of the reality, right? Just out of reality. And like somebody with your kind of personality, I'm not gonna read this. I'm gonna read this out loud. Somebody with your personality, it makes perfect sense that you end up being a killer. Don't go making all that noise so suddenly. That's what Kaz said.
どうして出てったんだ。ほとぼりが冷めるまで隠れてればいいじゃねえか。
その間に2人が田中君の部屋に様子を見に行ったら部屋にいないことがバレちゃうじゃん。
If they went to Gundam's room and Gundam was not in his room, exactly, they would have been even more suspicious.
それは最悪の
But either way,
だから隠れたままってわけにはいかなかったんだよ。
either way, Kaz and Fuyuhiko should have suspected Gundam the minute they saw him come to the lounge. The minute they saw him at all.
確認に来てくれるのは予定通りであればベストだったアイディアなのに。
If they knew from the beginning, if they had simply remembered from the beginning that Gundam was supposed to be in a deluxe soundproof room, then they should have been suspicious the minute they saw him enter the lounge.
クズリュウ君がいた時点でそれは最悪のアイディアに変わっちゃったんだよ。
That he can't even look at us. That he knows he's been caught.
田中さん、何かおっしゃっていただけませんか？
そうか。俺様と破壊神暗黒四天王を合わせると耳の数はいくつになる。
How many ears do we possess? So you're trying to say that you heard it through the... Are you trying to insinuate that you heard it because you were in your deluxe room and you heard it still?
そう、俺様には10の耳があるということになる。
Gundam, this is irrelevant. This is irrelevant. You can't hide the fact that you were not in your room. He's trying to dress up the fact that he was not in his room. And trying to insinuate that because of his 4 dark divas of destruction, combined all their ears with his, he was able to hear the alarm while in a soundproof room. No. You cannot hide this fact. You cannot prove that what Nagito and all of us just said is wrong. You were never in your room. You heard that noise because you were never in your room.
すなわち常人の5倍の聴覚だ。あの部屋の防音設備などなきに等しい。
Now that is not gonna work.
それが反論じゃ
Exactly.
ないよな。
Is that supposed to be your argument? Like, no, that's not gonna work.
てめえは自分の置かれた状況が分かってんのか。
慌てるな。本番はこれからなのだ。
Look at him, he's sweating. He's like you know you've been caught.
俺様はトイレに行こうと部屋から出
To
て。
go to the bathroom? Come on now.
の音を聞いてしまったのだ。
That is such a terrible excuse.
たったそれだけのこと。世界はいつだってシンプルなんだよ。
偶然ってこと？さすがにタイミングが良すぎない？
Yes, exactly.
そのせいで疑われる結果になったのだ。むしろタイミングが悪かったと言うべきだろう。
It was horrible timing because again, as they said, your plan was to make it back to your room before the alarm went off. You were too late. So instead of going back to your room, you went into the lounge.
まだ粘るんだ。まあ認めな
You're
くた
still
っていい
trying
け
to
ど
hold
ね
out.
どうせ投票は多数決で決まるんだし。というわけで、さっさと投票を始めちゃわない？田中君が犯人なのは決まってるんだしさ。
Now, again, unless... Let me just go fast forward into the video. I'm sorry for pausing so much. And now, again, unless the true killer is hiding something... Oh, it is still way too early. It is still way too early. There's still, like, almost 50 minutes left in this guide video.
ちょっと待てよ。あのさ、日向君。こんな学級裁判も殺し合いもさ、所詮はただの前座でしかないんだよ。
ちょっと学級裁判が前座ってどういう意味だよ。
むしろ茶番って言った方がいいのかな。
What are you talking about, man?
退屈すぎてストレスがたまるよ。胃が穴だらけになってもおかしくないほど退屈だよ。だからさ、僕が健康を害して倒れる前にさっさと終わらせちゃおうよ。
Why are you so eager to end this?
お前だ。やっぱり何かあったんだな。この事件の捜査途中からお前の様子は明らかにおかしくなった。一体何があったんだ。お前は何かを知ったのか。まあそれは後のお楽しみってやつにして。
No, answer the
さっ
question.
さとこの前座を終わらせようよ。
また前座って言ったの？
ちょっと待ってください。まだ田中さんの反論を聞いていないじゃないですか。
We've heard him try to rebuttal, Sonia. He's not rebuttaling. He's just trying to cover up.
でもすっかり黙り込んじゃってるよ。もう反論なんてないんじゃない？
Like his arguments have been complete BS.
田中さんってば。
貴様らの稚拙な推理に呆れ果て声も出なかっただけだ。むしろ根本から否定しよう。貴様らの推理は最初から間違っている。
Since the beginning.
貴様らの推理によると、俺様は4階のストロベリータワーで2台を吊るし上げ、次に1階マスカットタワーにフロアを移動させ、そこから再びストロベリーハウスへと戻った後、ラウンジでアラームが鳴る場に立ち会ったのだったな。行ったり来たりで大忙しだが、そもそも両ハウス間の移動はどうするのだ。
そうか。
Because the elevator was broken.
壊されてたんだったな。
Could you not have still used the elevator, the floor elevator in the tower?
確か犯人はマスカットハウスの制御パネルをいじり、連絡エレベーターを停止させたのだったな。しかも停止したエレベーターがあったのはマスカットハウス側だったはずだ。となれば最後に連絡エレベーターを使った人間はマスカットハウスで降りたということになる。
It was at the Grape House.
以上のことから犯人がマスカットハウスで連絡エレベーターを壊したのは疑いようのない事実。
それがどうしたんだよ。
マスカットハウスでエレベーターを壊したらもうストロベリーハウスには戻ってこれねえって話だよ。
だが俺様はちゃんとストロベリーハウスにいたぞ。ラウンジでアラームが鳴った瞬間にも立ち会っている。
So then, why were you trying to make it sound like we were wrong in assuming that?
貴様らの推理は間違っているということだ。
マジかよ。もう決まったと思ったのに。
思い知ったか人間風情よ。この矛盾ばかりは
No,
打ち破
but
れない。
I'm sure we can. Like, No, I'm sure that we absolutely can. That's wrong. Exactly. Oh, when something is obviously wrong, that's when a contradiction is born. There's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. So, well, let's go. So, well, let's go. Oh, we are gonna prove Gundam wrong right here. Well, there is no way that he's not the killer. Like, his reasons are complete BS. Like I said, I'm not getting any more answers wrong. So, let's just go. It's not.
それが壊されている以上、貴様らの推理は瓦解する。
しかも連絡エレベーターはマスカットハウスで壊されてたな。
犯人がストロベリーハウスに戻れないなら、
その時ストロベリーハウスにいた俺様には一連の犯行が不可能なのは必定。
共犯者でもいれば話は別なんだが、
それか秘密の抜け道でもあればな。
いつまで幻想
Oh,
を語っている。
it's always so hard to highlight.
しないか。あの連絡エレ両ハウス間の言うそれが壊さ貴様らの推理。
しかも連絡マスカットハウス。
犯人がストロベ
その時ストロベ一連の犯行が
共犯者でもいれば話は別な。
それか秘密の抜け道でもあればな。
Thank you.
いつまで幻想を語っている。もうやめにしないか。
Find out for sure what that contradiction is for the sake of everyone's hope. I'll shoot through that contradiction.
あの連絡エレベーターは両ハウス間の唯一の
それは違う
It's
ぞ。
not the only means of travel.
いや、連絡エレベーター以外にも2つのハウスを行き来する方法はあったはずだ。
And it's the method that Nagito used. That's how he appeared in the Grape Tower when he was originally in the Strawberry Tower. And surprised the heck out of Hajime. It's because there is some sort of secret passageway.
そんなものはない。
And that secret passageway is probably the door hatch that was in the
だったら
octagon.
実際にその方法を使ったやつに聞いてみるか。
Exactly. Ask Nagito. Ask Nagito.
お前しかいない。お前だ。お前だったら知ってるはずだぞ。
何の話？
Because you showed up in the Grape House.
お前はその方法を使ったからこそあそこに現れたんだろ。
Because again, the killer knew all along the entire structure of the building, which means they also played the life-threatening game. They've been in the final dead room, which means they saw the door hatch. They saw the window. They saw everything that Nagito saw. Nagito, why are you here? Because I showed up.
きっとストロベリーハウスの1階とマスカットハウスの3階をつなぐ抜け道があったんだ。そうなんだろ。ああ、また予備学科なんかに活躍させちゃったか。
Yeah, so much for reserve course, right?
でもそうだよ。ストロベリーハウスの1階にあるオクタゴンの床に
Yup,
は
the door hatch.
扉があったんだ。
Hang on a second.
その扉を開けて下に降りてみるとね。なんとびっくり、マスカットハウス3階の
Ended up in the
資料室に出たん
Monokuma
だよ。
archive.
そ 3階と4階が実はつながってたってことか。しかもファイナルデッドルームを一度クリアすれば何度でもそこを行き来していいんだってさ。その抜け道を使ったと考えれば2つのハウスを移動することはいくらで
as
もで
many
きたは
times
ず
as
だ。
they possibly wanted to. That's why they were able to. Alright, are we playing the rhythm game? Oh no, oh, not this
ファイ
again.
ナルデッドルームの存在を知らなかったとしたらどうなる？
知らなかったはずがない。
Unaware of the existence, there's no way they were
そ
unaware.
れは貴様の猜疑心が生み出した幻想に過ぎん。
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, Gundam, you are done.
命が惜しければそれ以上の詮索はやめておくことだ。
やめられるわけないだろう。
あまり俺様を怒らせるな。殺さないように手加減するのは骨が折れるんだよ。
Alright, I cannot stand this game. Something is not working right. I tripped over a pillar.
その
Okay, before that, let me just figure out which one of these is the correct bullet to use. Oh, wait. Okay, this is gonna be very annoying. Alright, here we go.
空間的ワームホールを使えば昇降する混濁の箱がなくとも多重世界を移動できたやもしれん。だが
Come
も
on.
ろいもろいぞ。貴様の腐敗しきった幻想を邪神創造の
Man, here we go again. Here we go again. Like, no, why do my slices disappear?
その空間的ワームホールを使えば
There must have been a skill.
多重世界を移動できたやもしれん。だがもろいもろいもろいぞ。貴様の腐敗しきった幻想を邪神創造の糧としてくれようか。
Okay,
すでに抜け道の存在は証明したはずだぞ。
okay, that didn't take too
その
long.
抜け道はオクタゴンにあったんだ。
That octagon, yes.
己が推理の限界を知れ。犯人がオクタゴンに行っただと吠えるな雑種が。闇とせめて光
Nope, I cut the wrong thing. I didn't press the right button.
推理の限界を知れ。犯人がオクタゴンに行っただと吠えるな雑種が。闇とせめて光
But I just did it again. I didn't think it was gonna show up. Come on now.
己が推理の限界を知れ。犯人がオクタゴンに行っただと吠えるな雑種が。闇と混沌の螺旋に
Thank you. There we go. That was better. This game is horrible. That rebuttal showdown.
それに凶器に見せかけられてたハンマーもタワーの奥の扉を
Those
塞いでい
were
たチェ
all
ーンだってそう
weapons
だ。
that you got from the final dead room.
どれもドッキリハウスのどこにもなかったものだ。犯人はそれをどこから調達したんだ？
Yeah, how did you obtain those? You had to have been in that final dead room.
考えられないね。
Or the octagon, yes.
あそこにはいろんな凶器やら道具が保管されてたからね。ワイヤーやハンマーやチェーンもあったと思うよ。それらが犯行に使われたってことは犯人は間違いなくオクタゴンに行ってるはずなんだ。
だとしたら当然そこにあった抜け道のことだって 知ってるはずだよね。
There is absolutely no way that the killer was never in that room.
どうやらこれで終わりかな。
Yes, like it's over, Gundam. You cannot cover this up anymore.
事件のまとめを長々と語っていくところだけど。
I'll give myself the point for suspecting Gundam at all.
サクッと終わらせちゃうね。おい、何を勝手に。
I'm sorry, let me just read what he said again. Normally we end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case, but there's no reason to waste any more time on this. Oh, so you're just gonna skip the closing argument? I mean, yeah, it saves us a lot of work, but still, that's like the most fun part.
そのせいで二代君は集合場所であるマスカットタワーに行けなくなってしまったから、彼はとりあえずストロベリータワーに行ってみたんじゃないかな。連絡エレベーターが壊れていると知った時の僕らがそうしたのと同じようにね。まあそう考えるのも当然だよね。その時の僕らは2つのタワーが全く同じ場所と誤解してたからね。
The game's doing this all on its own.
いちご回廊のスイッチも壊れてなくて、ストロベリータワーにはすんなり入れたんだけど、なんとそこには田中君が待ち受けていたんだ。
待てや、2台がストロベリータワーに来なかったら犯人はどうするつもりだったんだ？
確かに不確定要素の多い綱渡りな計画だけど、別に失敗したって構わなかったはずだよ。しれっと次の朝を迎えて、また別の方法を考えればいいだけだからね。
Yeah, you could say that.
それにそのくらいの綱渡りをしない限りは彼だけをおびき寄せることなんてできなかったはずだよ。
じゃあ事件のまとめを再開させるね。
Okay.
こうして田中君はストロベリータワーに二代君をおびき寄せることに成功したわけだけど、さすがに彼がロボット化した二代君とまともに戦って勝てるわけがない。そこで彼は二代君のお休みスイッチを押すことで戦わずして無力化させたんだ。
待て、貴様何と言った？戦わずしてだと。
ん？それはどうかした？
ふざけるなよ。ふざけるな！その言葉だけは捨ておけんぞ。
なんで急に怒ったのかな。
So are you saying you did try to fight him? Like, what are you getting angry for?
分かっていない。何も分かっていない。はあ、笑えるぞ。この後に及んでまだ何も分かっていないとはな。
何も分かってない。なんだよそれ。
どうやらまだ終われんようだ。俺様はいずれ地獄に落ちるべき人間だろう。だが今はまだ終われん。終われんぞ。
I don't even know what you're talking about anymore.
どうするつもりだ？
決まっているだろう。貴様らの幻想まみれの推理をぶち殺す。
Yeah, but how? Like, what more arguing do you need to do? Like, what more arguing do you need to do?
俺様が2台のお休みスイッチを押したと言ったな。だがあのスイッチは2台の首の後ろについていた。それを押すには奴の背後に回り込まねばならぬ。
2台のおっさんの背後なんてそう簡単に取れるもんじゃねえぞ。
You obviously did something to be able to reach it.
なおさらかもね。
やはり脆い。この程度で簡単に瓦解するとは、所詮はただの幻想に過ぎなかったか。俺様を犯人に仕立て上げたくは、せめて人ぐらいは超えてほしいものだ。
それは違うぞ田中。間違ってるのはやっぱりお前の方だ。
いいセリフだが、それではまだ満たしたとは言えんな。
Well, you'll be satisfied when you end up being executed, so...
他者に負けを認めさせるコツは2つだ。それを教えてやろう。一つは圧倒的な力で有無を言わさず他者を蹂躙すること。そしてもう一つはその人間を納得させるだけの理由を述べることだ。
Oh, which means that you gave Nekomaru a reason to push that button.
貴様はまだそのど
We may not have done that, but you just gave us an idea of how you were able to turn that, to flip that button, or push that button, to put Nekomaru to sleep. I guess you really don't want to admit it. Then just as you requested, I will provide an argument that'll leave you no choice but to be persuaded. Alright, here we go. Come on now. I don't know how I could possibly be missing right now. Come on now. I don't know what he's saying, but I am locked in. Oh no, I completely messed that up. That is the complete wrong thing. The 4 Dark Devots of Destruction. The 4 Dark Devots. Not getting that health back. Oh, so he used the hamsters to do it. So no, he didn't say or do anything to make Nekomaru allow him to push the button. That would be stupid. He has hamsters. The hamsters probably did it. I mean, what else do you think they're there for? They do his bidding. When he used them to do something else. So even in accordance with our ancient contact, the time has come to lend me your aid. Pierce through Supernova Super Fox Sandy. We saw firsthand the hamster push a button on the door. Or for the strawberry door. I've completely overlooked all these key details. I knew all along the Gundam was suspicious, I just didn't know how. From the baton letting up. That was again another instance where we saw the hamster do his bidding for him. Yeah, it is over for you, Gundam. Like, enough is enough. It's still a little too early, but not really at the same time.
俺様自身のことであればともかく配下の者どもの優秀さを引き合いに出されては認めるほかあるまい。
Admit it.
認めるとそうおっしゃったのですか?
So you're actually going to admit it now? Finally?
どうやら俺様が手にしていたのは地獄巡りの片道切符だったようだ。いいだろう。 ならば踏み越えていけ。勝利は屍の上にしか築かれる。犠牲なき平和などどこにも存在せんぞ。さあこの命を踏み越えてみせろ。道端に転がるゴミのように踏みにじってみせろ。このくだらない劇場の幕紐を
Alright, well, with pleasure, because seriously, like, this dude is just out of reality. Like, he just talks like he lives in a fantasy world. Alright, closing argument start. Alright, here we go. So, who set the lounge clock's alarm? Who set the lounge clock's alarm? Alarm set for 5:38. That's saying who said it. I don't think that's it. Who was in the lounge since early in the morning. I still don't think that's it. What time did Hiko see Nekomaru? We're still not there yet. Nekomaru's weakness is... Okay. The wire wrapped around Nekomaru's feet. We're not there yet. The killer destroyed what after leaving the tower? We're not there yet. Wait. No. No, it's not that. But what was the fake weapon left at the tower? We're not there yet. Who gathered at the lounge? We're not there yet. We don't have that picture. But why did Nekomaru fall? Still not there yet. Who heard the rumbling noise? Okay, there's a lot of question marks that we don't have the answers to right now. But what was the fake weapon? Yeah, we don't have the picture for that yet. Yeah, I don't have the pictures for any of this stuff yet. Okay, yes, that goes there. And we have who set the lounge clock's alarm? So is that what goes here? Okay, that goes there. All right, stock 2. But I am not looking for help. Like, we need to. Who was in the lounge since early morning? What was going on there? They all attacked him and pushed his button. And, okay. Wire wrapped around his feet. Is that what goes? Yup, that goes there. We're running out of time here. Destroy what after leaving? No. No, that was there. Fake weapon left. We still haven't gotten to that point yet. Have I not gotten to the point of the doorknob snapping? Gather at the lounge. Yes. Oh, why did he fall? Yep, that goes here. Alright, stock 3. Who heard the rumbling noise? That would have been Akane, but she's... I gotta hurry up. What was the fake weapon left? This was the fake weapon left. The killer destroyed what? Oh, yep, here it is. The killer destroyed this. Okay, there we go. Oh, last stock. Crap. There's still one more stock. Who was in the lounge since early morning? that's not him. Oh, yep, it is him. Okay, so that's what goes there. 6 minutes left. I am not looking up the answers to this. I need to figure this out on my own. Okay. Who heard the rumbling noise? No. 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 That was the last question mark. It is him.
これが事
It
件の
is
全
that
て
one.
だ。まずは犯人が犯行前に行ったいくつかの工作から振り
Yeah,
返ってい
no
くぞ。
more looking up the answers to that. I just gotta read the hints, read the question marks, and figure it out.
一つ目は連絡エレベーターの破壊だ。
Okay, I don't need this video up anymore. First, they destroyed the contact elevator. That's the first thing they did.
これによってストロベリーハウス側の狛枝たちとマスカットハウス側の俺たちは分断されてしまったんだ。次に犯人は2台だけをおびき寄せるためドッキリハウス内の全ての時計を2時間遅らせた。
Okay, that was the next step. Messing with the clocks in the
さらに
grape and
犯
strawberry
人は自
houses.
分のアリバイを確保するためストロベリーハウスのラウンジで掛け時計のアラームを午前5時30分に設定しておいたんだ。
So they set the wall clock in the lounge to 5:30, which would
それ
give
ら
them
の
an
事前準
alibi,
備
as
を
he
終え
said.
た犯人は必要な道具を手にストロベリータワーへと向かった。
The tools that they had required
犯
from
人
the
はファイナ
final
ルデ
dead
ッドルー
room.
ムをクリアすると入れるオクタゴンから
That should have been
そ
the
れらの
first
道
thing
具
they
を
mentioned.
調達していた。つまり犯人はドッキリハウスの秘密にもいち早く気づいていたんだ。
Yes, they discovered the secret before
ス
anybody
トロ
else
ベリー
did.
ハウスとマスカットハウスが実は同じ建物という秘密にな。一方事件の朝に体内時計で目を覚ました2台はある目的のためにマスカットタワーへと向かった。
For a specific reason, his chest clock, radio clock went off. Fuyuhiko couldn't
その
sleep.
時
He
の2
saw
台
him.
の姿はたまたまラウンジに出てきたクズ竜に目撃されている。クズ竜の証言によるとそれは午前5時ぐらいのことだったらしいけど、その時俺たちの時間認識はすでに犯人によって狂わされてしまってたはずだから、実際にクズ竜が2台を目撃した時
He'll
間
leave
は
it to somebody like
本当
Gundam
は
to be a
午
complete
前7時だったんだ。
murder mastermind. Like, just he thought of everything the minute he
午
discovered
前
the
7
truth about the
時とい
structure
え
of the
ば
building.
モノクマ太極拳だ。2台の目的はそのイベントに参加することだったんだよ。
But why did he target Nekomaru?
だけど連絡エレベーターを壊されていたせいで2台はマスカットタワーに行けなくなってしまった。そこで2台は一旦ストロベリータワーに行ってみることにしたんだ。だけどそこ
And
には
that's when the hamsters
2
got
台
him.
を待ち受けていた犯人がいたんだ。その犯人は飼っていたハムスターを操ることで2台の首の後ろにあるお休みスイッチを押し、そして2台はスリープモードにされ行動不能に陥ってしまったんだ。そこから犯人は極上の凶器を使うための準備に取り掛かっていった。まず2台の胸のアラームタイマーを操作し午前7時30分に2台が目覚めるようにした後、鉄製のワイヤーで2台を縛ってその先端を輪っかにしてドア
Wait,
ノ
so
ブ
they
に引っ掛
set
け
the
た。
time to 7:30 so that he would or wouldn't wake up. Because he never woke up at this point.
そしてストロベリータワーから出た犯人はすぐにイチゴ回廊の扉のスイッチを破壊した。俺たちをストロベリータワーに入れなくすることで2台を殺害するのに利用する 建物の構造の秘密を悟られないようにしたんだ。そしてオクタゴンの抜け道を使ってマスカットハウスへと移動した犯人はブドウ回廊へと向かい、タワーの扉を開けるためのスイッチを押した。するとエレベーターのようになっているタワーの床は下降を始め、
Okay, so this is the floor didn't descend until after he got into the Great Tower. Nekomaru was still
ワイヤーで宙吊りにな
suspended.
ってしまった。タワーの中に入って仕掛けがうまくいっていることを確認した犯人は、床に凶器に見せかけるためのハンマーを置き、マスカットタワーの奥の扉にチェーンを巻きつけた。イチゴ回廊からはタワーに入れないと誤認させ、みんなをストロベリータワーから遠ざけるための工作だ。こうして全ての仕掛けを終えた犯人は再び抜け道を通って自分の客室に戻ろうとした。
This is, you can tell, this is a very long closing argument. That you can tell that
2台が墜
they
落
thought
死した
of
時のアリバイを
everything.
作るためだ。でもそこで予想外の出来事が起きた。2台を目撃したクズリュウがまだラウンジに残ってたんだ。そのせいで犯人は客室に戻れなくなり、そのままその瞬間は訪れてしまった。5時30分、実際には7時30分にセットされたラウンジの掛け時計
Yeah,
のアラ
at
ームが鳴り
5:30,
響
but it
き、
was actually 7:30.
犯人は最悪のケースを逃れるため仕方なくクズリュウたちの前に姿を現す羽目になったんだ。そしてその掛け時計のアラームが鳴った時間は
He did wake
同
up.
時に2台が目覚める時間でもあった。逆さずり状態で意識を取り戻した2台は思わず体を大きく動かしてしまったんだろう。
So it wasn't just because of his weight that he ended
そ
up
の
falling.
せいで
It's
ドア
because
ノ
he
ブから
did
ワイ
wake
ヤーの
up
輪っかが外れるだけの予定だったのが、
and he was attempting to free himself from the wire.
予想以上に激しい負荷がかかったせいでドアノブごと壊れてしまったんだ。
So his weight combined with him trying to sway around broke the handle, causing him to fall to his death.
そしてストロベリータワーの高さ、つまり4階から1階に向かって落下していった2台は柱に激突し、その衝撃で頭部が破壊され死んでしまったんだ。そこで2台が落ちた衝撃音はドッキリハウス中に響き渡った。ただこの時点で犯人の計画は崩れかけていたんだ。壊れたドアノブとクズリュウの存在のせいでな。つまりこの事件の犯人は豪華な客室にいたなら掛け時計のアラームが聞こえなか
And
った
this
は
was
ず
the
の
dead
人物。
giveaway. I completely forgot that Gundam had been staying in a
そ
deluxe
して
room.
ラウンジにクズリュウがいたことで自分の客
It's
室
like
に
I
戻
have
れ
to
なかっ
write
た人
stuff
物。
down or just watch my VODs from beginning to end. I would still forget. My memory
そ
is
れは
not
田
that
中
good.
ガンダム。
Well, I
お
have
前
like
以外に
selective
は考
memory.
えられないんだよ。
What is that picture?
見事だ見事だったぞ。人間風情がなかなかやるではないか。
もうやめろよ。
I mean, seriously, this guy talks like a supervillain. Like, this guy talks like a supervillain from a comic book or a movie. A superhero film. It is perfectly fitting that Gundam ends up being one of the killers. Just get this guy out of here, man.
妙な言い回しではぐらかすのはもうやめてくれ。じゃねえと俺がおめえをぶっ殺しちまう。 信じられません。そんなの信じられません。あなたのような人が二代さんを殺してしまったなんて、そんなの私には信じられません。
許せ
I
んか
absolutely can.
悔しいか。ならば終わらせてみせよ。この田中ガンダムに不浄なる一票を与えてみせよ。愛しき恩敵どもよ。さあ、投票タイムを始めるぞ。
And of course, just like everybody else, he's ready. He's accepting death at this point. He is accepting punishment. Oh my gosh. I don't think I'm getting anything better than a B in these class trials.
なんだか盛り上がりに欠け
But
る
what do you
リア
mean
ク
this
ション
result
で
isn't
は
all
あ
that
りますわ。
exciting? This was the most convoluted incident out of all of them so far.
ではお前らはお手元のスイッチを押して投票してください。
You should be applauding Gundam for how much thought went into this entire murder case.
投票の結果プロとなるのは誰か。その答えは正解なのか不正解なのか。スイッチオン。やば、大事なとこで噛んでしまった。
Oh my gosh. And to get this guy out of here, man. Alright, the fourth class trial is in the books. It'd be bad if I bit my tongue again, so I'll speak slowly. Judging from the results, you guys were correct once again. Getting 4 in a row without any mistakes is a splendid achievement. That's right. The one who killed the robotic Nekomaru in the amazing funhouse was Gundam Tanaka.
いい感じ。
I said all that without biting my tongue, thank goodness.
さて
Now that we've decided who the killer is, let's do the execution already and get this over with. Hold on. It's true the class trial's finished, but that doesn't mean the incident is over. We can't finish yet until we hear it from Gundam.
まったく
No matter what he says, it won't change a thing. It really won't. Well, I have no right to stop you either, so do whatever you like.
流れよ。
But why do you want to talk to one who has lost? The loser merely leaves. It would just be unnecessary for me to say something.
とくと聞くがいい。
It was I. Is what I would like to say, but for honor's sake, I shall correct one thing. Correct?
悲しいな。
You guys said I made Nekomaru powerless without fighting him. That, however, is a great mistake. Huh?
よかろう。
Nekomaru did fight. That is no mistake. And because he fought, he lost and died. And I'm assuming he's talking about the fact that he did wake up at the time that the alarm was set to, but at that point he had already been tied and suspended. And his fight was trying to get out of that situation, which resulted in him dying, because by struggling in your position, you caused the hanging point to snap, and yourself to fall to your death. So, I don't know what else could have been done, honestly. I mean, if he just screamed for help or something, somebody could have found a way to raise the elevator. I know I would not have tried to move at all. Lost and died?
これも因果率の定め
If
か。
he was just trying to cling to life, there are many ways he could have done so. However, He did not allow that.
てめえ
What do you mean? Explain! Fine then. Then I shall reveal it all.
物語を
Within
作
the
る
final dead room, I discovered the secret of the funhouse. And I devised a killing plan utilizing that secret. We knew that part. By tampering with all the clocks in the building, I succeeded in luring Nekomaru to the tower. And this is what happened. And Nekomaru and I were alone in the tower, standing face to face with one another. I should say I expected as much from Nekomaru. He sensed my subtle killing intent, and instantly understood the situation. Oh, okay, so he is talking about the moment they encountered each other. And we had ourselves a stare down. In that situation, if he wanted to run away, it would have been easy for him to do so. He could have run away, or even called for help. But he did not turn his back to me. Instead, he chose a fight that risked life and death.
そんな
A fight that risked life and death?
あえて言おう
He was serious too. He gave it his all to try to kill me. Huh? If I had died instead, the mystery surrounding the case would have been even more complicated. You would never know why I, the victim, went to the tower by myself.
見えるぞ
Nobody would know that the victim, me, was actually the one who planned the whole thing.
まさか
Mekamaru, you really did that?
わずかな殺気を感じ取るとはさすがだな二代
このヒリヒリと焼き付くような緊張感マネージャーに専念して久しく忘れておった
They both have way too deep of voices.
たまらんのやはり心地いいわい
いいセリフだな
で理由は何だ
This is like a true anime battle that we're watching right now. Like what is happening?
この状況を打破するつもりか
俺様は勇者も闇の王も天を滑る神々でさえ裸足で逃げ出す狂気の魔術師田中ガンダムだぞ理由などにすがりはしないただ貴様の存在が目障りだから殺すだけだ
あくまでも悪に徹するか見事だ
Like every time one of them is talking, I can't tell who is who at this point. Both of their voices are just incredibly deep. They both have this like bellowing laughter that they do.
手加減はすんお前さんも手加減などするなよ卑怯な手も姑息な手も問答無用じゃ
二代猫丸貴様の血を我が波動の礎にしてくれよ
And yet he did end up using a cowardly tactic. He used his hamsters. Why? Well, why did you fight? We are all friends because you don't understand that not everybody here thinks like that. Well, why couldn't you stop this? Even if both sides agreed, it was still wrong. I will not argue. I have no intention of forcing my values upon you. However, I must say this. What's the point of living if you're just waiting until you finally die? There's nothing courageous about that. That is abandonment. A mere feeling of resignation. Telling us to just wait until we starve to death? I'd rather have that happen to us than have our friends kill each other. Do you mean that you'd rather die? That was the conversation we had.
我が涙
Ever since we were locked inside that building, everyone had been dominated by that feeling of abandonment. However, nothing is born from resignation. That is simply a reason to give up. Giving up on life. That's just an insult to life itself. Have you fools heard of the term dog eat dog? Cannibalism? In zoology, cannibalism is a commonly observed phenomenon. Many creatures at some point in their lifespan engage in cannibalism. That is what it means to live. You have a very twisted perception of the ways of living. If you say killing for the sake of living is evil, then what would you call giving up on life itself? If a world would consider that justice, then I will fight that world with every last fiber of my being. Giving up on life and choosing death is nothing but a blasphemy toward life. It is a violation of the natural order. It is the arrogance of humanity. Are you saying all that to try to justify what you did? Yes, that's exactly what he's doing. But what it sounds like Nekomaru felt the same too. It sounds like Nekomaru felt the same too. That's why they fought, right? That man had the courage to die when he needed to die. That is why he challenged me to our battle. Regardless, as I've already said, I do not intend to force my values upon you fools. I have betrayed you all. That is the absolute truth. But even so, don't you think it's a better alternative to slowly starving to death here? That belief is why you committed your crime. Hey, what about the final dead room? Did you do the Russian roulette too? Unlike Nagito, I only did it once, but compared to my battle with Nekomaru, that was mere child's play. You know, after listening to you talk for a while, I'm starting to think that... Before she says it, I'm gonna use the bathroom and come back. Seems like a nice cliffhanger. So, use the bathroom, come back, and we'll see what she thinks. Alright. She's starting to think what? Well, it's also because you unexpectedly admitted your crime without much resistance. Gundam, don't tell me you didn't sacrifice yourself for our sake, did you? I can't believe you would ask such a foolish question. Just who do you think I am? I am Gundam Tanaka, history's greatest monster. My cursed existence is feared by all mankind. There's no way I'd sacrifice myself for the sake of you fools. Not in a million, not in a billion, not in 10,000 billion years. In the name of pandemonium, it is impossible. Is that it? Then, I'll just leave it at that. Now then, let us be rid of this foolish talk. It's about time the fun started. Monokuma, let us begin. Got it. I prepared a special punishment for the ultimate breeder, Gundam Tanaka. Please, wait! This is just too much! Please, Monokuma, please help Gundam! Help him? He doesn't need... he doesn't need the kind of help that you're talking about. He needs a different kind of help. Huh? Miss Sonia, please, I beg you! Oh, why? Oh, why are you so intent on preventing this from happening? Sonia, an act as unrefined as stopping a man from going to his death does not befit a noble such as yourself. It's fine to start for reals, right? Yes, I do not mind. However, what is it, my foregone device of destruction? Yeah, what is it? Yeah, so what's gonna happen to the hamsters? Are they just gonna get axed too? Because, I mean, they had a helping hand in this. But they're animals, they were just doing his bidding. Yeah, like, this guy needs a whole different type of help. Like, he is out of touch with reality. Like, he lives in a fantasy world. Alright, let's go. Oh my god, what is happening? Why is he riding on bulls? Stampede. What, is he gonna run him over with a bunch of bulls? Those aren't bulls, what are those? He's still holding the hamsters. Oh, he just put them down. He's actually still gonna try to fight them off? Well, no, he's writing something. Or drawing something. But what is he trying to write? Or draw? This dude actually has superpowers. You see, he does live in a fantasy world. Why are they trying to make this look as, heartwarming as possible? Yeah, I'm not even gonna read the lines for her, because I don't understand. I really don't understand. Out of any characters to be upset about their death, as she had every reason to be upset for everybody else. Gundam was so out of touch with reality. It is so befitting that he ended up being one of the killers in this game. Out of all the kids brought into this, it is so befitting. He literally talks like a supervillain. He literally thinks like a supervillain. His only good quality is his animal breeding skills and his knowledge of animals. Now that's his only good quality. I really don't know what Sonya is seeing in him. None of the male characters other than Hajime in this game are likable. Well, Nekomaru, again, Nekomaru is not... He's alright, it's just that he's obnoxious. That was it. That's the only thing that I couldn't stand. Just, he was obnoxious. And, like, not hot-headed, but in a way... Like he reminds you like those high school jocks, like just that kind of a mindset. And he kind of was a jock anyway. He was kind of like a coach kind of person. Nekomaru was like, out of all the guys, but he and Hajime were like the coolest guys. Everybody else, all the other guys, are not likable whatsoever. They're just not likable whatsoever. Fuyuhiko seems like he's turning a leaf since what happened to Peko. But seriously, even after Gundam is gone, the spirit of his parting words still linger deep in our chests. Don't give up on life. You see, it's a good thing to say, but still, his mentality was still twisted. Did I misunderstand what he meant? Then what's the right thing to do? His mentality was still... I'm sorry I keep on pausing, but his mentality is still twisted because he's saying don't give up on life. Hajime was willing to die of starvation as opposed to killing any of the other people. He had the right mentality. But Gundam saw that as weakness and giving up on life. But that is the absolute wrong mentality to have. I don't know. No matter how much I think about it, I don't know if I'll ever be able to answer that. Damn it. I'm so pissed off. I need to throw something. You all spent so much time worrying about each other. And thanks to that, things ended up like this. You're all full of shit. Every last one of you. But the biggest piece of shit is me. Why am I so weak? It's such a downer, clearly. But still, even though we feel this way, we still gotta do our very best.
確かに
You are right. This time around, we must move forward. We must continue to live and believe in our friends. If not,
ですよね
Gundam will most likely crawl his way out of hell, and I presume he'll be very cross with us. You're right. We shouldn't just stand here. It's not like this is over. We still have to do it. We still have to finish this. For the sake of our friends who died. We need to finish this once and for all. So, Don't just stand there. Stand up and walk. Move forward. Live. If you don't, everyone who fought and died will have died in vain. We can't allow that. So how long are you guys gonna stand around chattering? This class trial is over. It's okay for you to hurry back over to Jabberwock Island. However, the killing school trip will proceed as usual, so make sure you know that. Hold on! How much longer are you gonna keep doing this? Seriously, how long is he gonna keep doing this? How long is this gonna continue? Now then. Alright, after feeling down for so long, I finally feel refreshed. Let's hurry back and eat some food. Well, now she's happy all of a sudden. Hold on a second, that mood shift is too damn fast! Exactly. Well, you know, it's like Gundam and Nekomaru said. That's what it means to live, right? Heh. She's certainly something else. But seriously, I'm starving. Then let's go back now and eat. And then, after we're full, let's sleep as much as we want. And then, let's do our best again. Yeah. With this, the class trials come to an end. And once again, we return to Jabberwock Island. The size of our group has definitely diminished. But despite that, even if it was just the rest of us, we did our best to stay upbeat and have fun together. I don't know why my model keeps on freezing. Of course, our optimism was only superficial. But at that moment, we were able to forget about the dark despair looming before us. However, the only thing I was worried about was him. He wasn't there. He suddenly disappeared from our sight. Yep, I'm definitely lucky. Never expected to obtain so many valuable things from a simple game of Russian roulette. Thanks to that, I was able to learn the identity of our true enemy. Oh, he knows it all. And before everyone else, too. But it's just too funny. I mean, no one could tell that I was lying. There's no way the file had just Hajime's information. I guess they were too busy with other matters. Or maybe they reached their limit. Nagito, we all knew from the first class trial that you were suspicious. Regardless, I was saved. Things would get complicated if they found out. Anyway, I can't forgive this. Should never be forgiven. There's no way I can let this run loose. I'll be the one who stops this once and for all. Even if it costs me my life. For the sake of hope, I cannot ignore this. Thanks for coming. Why, it's the lonely little Nagito. Are you all alone tonight, too? So, what's up? Your face looks scary. I see. You can tell. Ah, perhaps you found out who the traitor is. You know me well. Is what I'd like to say, but unfortunately I haven't learned that yet. I see, so even you don't know, huh? Looks like the final showdown's gonna take a little more time. So why'd you summon me anyway? Were you finally gonna confess your love? I summoned you because there's something I really need to ask you. It's about the special prize from the final dead room. Oh yeah, and what about it? There was information about 16 people in the file I received. But isn't that weird? What's weird? Well, there's a traitor from the Future Foundation hiding among us, right? Including that person, the total number of students would be 16, right?
そうだよね。
But this file contains documents that were created at Hope's Peak Academy, right?
もちろん
That's right. I just reused the stuff that the former headmaster spent a lot of time making.
でも
If this file even contains information about the traitor... Was that person also a former student of Hope's Peak Academy?
どうだろうね
I wonder.
ね
Could it be? Is this your doing? Did you slip false information into the file? Were you trying to keep us from learning the traitor's identity by obtaining this information?
うん
What's wrong with that? If it's my job to heat things up, it's okay if I do something small like that, right?
あのね
That's not my point.
ね
My point is, you already know who the traitor is.
うん
What's wrong with that?
はしゃいじゃって
Well, you're splendidly correct when you say I knew who the traitor was all along. But even though I know who it is, why do you think I ignored it on purpose? It's just like Monami after losing her magic stick. The traitor's existence means absolutely nothing to me. Their existence means nothing, huh?
いやいや
Well, that's just how I feel. I'm sure you guys feel somewhat different.
知らん
After all, that person is the evil Future Foundation lackey who's putting you guys through this awful stuff. That's not entirely true. I didn't really come here to fight or anything like that. Instead, I came here to offer my cooperation, you know?
は
Cooperation?
ね
Your purpose is to fill everyone on this island with despair, right? That's why you're intentionally letting the traitor do as they please, right?
うん
Yep.
僕はね
If that's the case, I might be able to cooperate somewhat too.
ね
However, in exchange, I want to know who the traitor is.
うん
I see. Interesting, very interesting.
ダメだ
Obviously, that's a big no.
まったく
I mean, I want to make everyone in your group feel despair. That includes you too. Like, the fact that you really thought that Monokuma was gonna tell you? Like, well, what makes you so special compared to everybody else? Like, well, what makes you think that he was gonna make you the only one out of everybody to know the whole truth? Like, the complete arrogance.
まあ
Well, I knew you would say that. Besides, I just wouldn't be able to handle the sadness when you inevitably betray me later on. Huh. Just as I thought, you saw right through me.
そうだね
No matter what situation I find myself in, my core way of thinking will never change. In order to create absolute hope that shines brightly, stepletters such as myself and despair exist.
ぷぷぷ
You're right. You're a true believer of hope after all. I must say, that belief reminds me of that person for some reason.
え
Reminds you? I don't know who you're talking about, but if someone as worthless as me reminds you of some other person,
あ
they must be extremely unlucky.
っていうかさ
But you're just as unlucky, right? I mean, the fact that you've even involved in something like this.
いや
Am I? I actually think I'm very lucky.
はにゃはにゃ
Huh?
わからないの
Wouldn't you say that coming across this much despair is rather a rare opportunity? This is coping. I can't rely on anyone on this island. That's why I have to be the one who does it. If I can eliminate despair from this island, I won't be a stepladder anymore. I'll become true hope. I'll become an existence that could even be called ultimate hope.
ぷぷぷ
The two of you are alike. You definitely remind me of him.
ね
Hey, there's one more thing I want to ask you.
うん
ほら
Who are you waiting for? On this island.
うん
Huh? Looks like I'm right again. You're definitely waiting for someone on this island. Is this person you're waiting for already on this island?
ね
Well, answer my question.
そんな
If that's the case, if that person is already on this island,
ブーブーブーブー
wouldn't that be exciting? He's not gonna answer your question. There are 5 days left. Do Ultimate Robot Stream of Clockwork Chapter 4. That is the end. We are down to 7 remaining people. We've lost Nekomaru and Gundam. Alright. We'll save it there, and then begin the next chapter. After being released from the funhouse, we went back to living our less than ordinary lives. Finally out of the funhouse. And just like before, our day began with us all gathering at the restaurant.
まったくよ
You know, every time we meet up here, it makes me realize just how crazy this whole situation is.
あの
The restaurant certainly feels more spacious than before. Of course it feels spacious. There are less than half of us here now that were at the beginning. Less than half of us now than there were at the beginning. Stupid fool, get it together. Who on earth's voice was that?
あらら
Did you hear something?
おい
It's Nekomaru. That was Coach Nekomaru's voice.
あ
What are you talking about? He's no longer...
いいっす
Yagunzo!
What are you laughing about? I'll beat the crap out of you if you keep grossing me out like that. Hey, that's not cool. I was just up all night working my fingers to the bone.
弱りましたね
More importantly, I'm starting to get tired of the seasonings in this restaurant.
たくよ
Seriously, I'm starting to realize how valuable Teru Teru was. Hey, don't ignore me. I'm trying to talk to you about something important. Important? This. It took me all night to make it. Is that a Nekomaru doll?
人形ではわしのミニ二台じゃ
Mini Maru. This guy will never go away. Not like that's a problem. Mini Maru?
うっしょ
I took some parts from him to make it. What do you think? Awesome quality, right? Of course, it doesn't have free will or anything, so it's more like, you know, a toy. But isn't it freaking adorable?
マジかよ
Oh. Oh.
Thank you ね
It's so cute. Thanks. I'll keep it.
いや
Huh? I never said anything about giving it away.
Yagunzo!
Don't be so stuck up. Your stuff's my stuff, right? Whoa, hey now, that's a bull. It's a bully's logic.
あ
No, it doesn't matter. I made this to cheer you guys up anyway.
あうん
And as long as we have it, we won't forget, you know? About Nekomaru's sacrifice for us. We're standing here today because of him. So if we're gonna prevent something like that from ever happening again,
エンジン全開
I guess we gotta fight too, right? We can't just keep running away. I gotta admit, I never thought I'd hear you say something that awesome. Of course.
あの
In the end, Gundam told us to never give up on life.
私は
So I will never give up. I shall fight until the very end. Gundam, please watch over me.
ソニアさん
Miss Sonia, what did you think of my little pep talk?
あらら
Oh, did you say something? She is not worried about you in the slightest, man.
嘘だろ
I was up all night memorizing that speech.
たくよ
And there's the punchline. I really like this. Thanks, Kaz.
わしはミニ二台じゃ
あ
I'm only half as happy to be thanked by you.
あそうそう
Oh, by the way, you can also use that to massage your sore muscles and pressure points.
マジで
Are you serious? That's amazing!
もちのロ
Of
ンだ
course,
ぜ
I made it after all. Seriously, thanks. I'll take good care of it. Akane looks really happy.
ねえね
Anyway, what happened to Nagito? I haven't seen him like I usually do. You don't have to worry about that guy. He goes solo all the freaking time.
いや
But still, I'm a little worried about how he was acting during the last class trial. Well, he's always been a dangerous bastard, but he's crossed the line, you know?
おいおい
And that's even more reason we should avoid him.
えでもね
But even if we do avoid him, what are you gonna do if he approaches us? Nagito's sudden change was really weird. I wondered, did he figure something out that we're not aware of?
さてと
Anyway, Hajime, isn't it about time you told us what that was all about? That? You know, what Nagito said during the trial. Oh yeah. Except for Hajime, of course.
おいこら
What did he mean by except for Hajime?
あ
Are you really the traitor after all? No, it's not like that. I didn't really want to say it, but I guess I have no choice. To tell you guys the truth, unlike the rest of you, well, apparently I was never part of Hope Street Academy's primary department. I'm a reserve corps student from the reserve department.
はあ
Reserve department? It means unlike you guys, I don't have an ultimate talent at all. Apparently, I'm just a normal person. Is that all?
あ
What? That's it? Dude, don't ever scare me like that. It's not something that I can just brush off. Especially since it's about me. I thought I just forgot. I thought I got into Hope's Peak Academy because I had talent all along. But, shit. My whole life, I've just wanted to feel confident about myself. And I thought getting into Hope's Peak Academy meant I had finally become someone I could be proud of. Not some effing backup student. Cheer up, Hajime. It doesn't matter if you're from the reserve department.
もちろんです
She's right. No matter what, you're our friend. You know, there's a saying in Japan.
お聞きなさい
Fear is grateful for the danger.
あのな
The hell? You're saying that all wrong. So everyone was here. Well, what on earth happened to you? It was a real close battle.
すみません
She's gonna die in the next one. I apologize. I was trying to cheer you up, but I ended up saying the wrong thing. Well, it doesn't matter. Stuff is just hard to say sometimes.
あれれ
Huh? That's weird. Maybe you can't see me? What the heck? You're covered in blood.
ほい
Huh, you saw me. Yes, that's right. The Mono Beast this time was very strong.
この野郎
Gross, don't get close to me. Get out of here. No gratitude. I'm being treated like filth.
ねえね
Hey, why don't you clean that blood off? We're trying to eat. Ah, yes, I'm ashamed of myself. There we go. Now then, allow me to report to you all once again. After a fierce battle that's never been seen in history, I finally succeeded in conquering the last Mono Beast. Because of this, it's finally possible for you to travel to the final island.
あ
I see. What a thin reaction. It's like I'm surrounded by tons of shabu shabu from an all-you-can-eat restaurant.
あの
Don't tell me this again. You're gonna say stuff like, it's not like we can get off this island, why bother going to the new island? Well, it's true that I don't really expect much.
勘
But
違い
who
す
said
る
we
な
weren't gonna go? Obviously we're gonna go, dumbass. Huh?
だから
Assuming we were thinking about running away was a mistake.
本気出すぞ
Because we can't run. We'll fight. I'll crush everyone who puts us through this crap in one blow.
おいおい
Fight. Seriously, that fearsome group is called World Ender for a reason, you know.
何言ってんだ
Why? Did you forget what you said earlier?
いやいやいや
Dumbass, I only said that because I was trying to impress Miss Sonia. Brag about that. Settle down. If you have the power to fight among yourselves, then direct the power toward our enemy.
よーし
Now then, let us go forth. Offense is the best defense. Well, what?
ああ
You're right. Now's not the time for us to be bickering. I don't really get it, but when Miss Sonia talks like that, my blood starts to boil. Alright, I'm getting pumped up. Let's charge our way to the new island.
ワクワクしてき
The
た
future
ぜ
foundation, Monokuma Monomi. I'll crush them all at once. Even me? You guys seem reliable. Hey, don't talk like you're not included. You're our friend too, you know. Yeah, you're right.
任せて
I gotta do my best too. As we left the restaurant, the expressions on our faces were clearly different than they were before. They were filled with strong will and determination. Armed with that, we began walking toward the last island. But the clouds in my heart still lingered. I couldn't stop thinking about the reserve department. And that filled me with this strange, uncomfortable feeling, like a small bone was lodged in my throat. But I tried not to think about it. I tried to stay focused on moving forward. And I'm gonna stay focused on trying to investigate as much of this island as possible, get through, and really trying to get through this game. Chapters 5. Smile at hope in the name of despair. Okay, well that doesn't tell you much about any of the characters. The last chapter's title was kind of a dead giveaway of what was gonna happen, almost. With the Monobeast gone, we crossed the 5th bridge and arrived at the final island. What on earth?
ここが最後の島か
So, this is the last island. Enormous buildings towered everywhere as if the entire island were one gigantic city. It felt very sci-fi, as though the island was a snapshot of an urban metropolis from the near future.
最後の島それにふさわしい雰囲気かもな
Yeah, it does. Let's see where we're at. The 5th island. Vendor Street. Plushie Factory. Jabberwock Military Base. My goodness. Sea King Industries. I'll start with the plushie factory. Just give me a second. Alright. So let me look at something for a second. Alright. Alright. I'm looking for the plushie factory first. If I'm going the wrong way, I'll just turn around. Seeking Industries, I'm going the wrong way. Or wasn't there like a street thing too? Vendor Street. Yeah, we'll start here. Looks kind of festive over here. Now a few Hikos over here. Okay. I got a lot of these things. I gotta buy some. Oh, I gotta go back to the first island. Hang on. Can I go back to the first island real quick? Is that possible? No, I guess not. Where else can I buy items? I gotta keep an eye on the pet. I do not like that mechanic whatsoever, the pet thing. Alright. Anything else to observe in here besides the monitors? I was wondering who was lured here by the smell. I expected Akane though, not you. I wasn't lured by the smell or anything. Looks like the street's full of food vendors. But as you can see, there's no customers around or staff. Only the food's here. That is very strange. Normally a street like this would be bustling with activity, but there's no one here. It's actually pretty creepy to think about. We're the only ones on this island. I seriously can't do anything here. Alright. Alright, man, look at this factory. My goodness. The white smoke is billowing from the building in the back. Is this some kind of factory? But if it's got Monokuma's face on it, I'm sure it's a shady factory anyway.
Hinata-kun.
Ah, Hajime, good timing. What's up, Chiaki?
Hora.
This building clearly looks suspicious, right? I was thinking it might be good if I thoroughly look around inside, but... Since it clearly looks suspicious, I thought it'd be dangerous to go alone. Then, you wanna go inside together? Well, now you wanna get shy? What? I'm surprised you didn't say okay. Why are you hesitating? The goods warehouse? Am I able to buy stuff in this warehouse? Hi, Hajime. You're the kind of person who waits until the very end to eat their favorite food, aren't you? How could you tell? I like to eat my favorite foods first. So instead of the warehouse, let's start with the factory. Okay, fine. Alright then, I'm going inside. What the heck is this? Just a bunch of Monokumas being made. What was being manufactured one after the other and being carried away on conveyor belts was... just Monokuma. Everywhere. The conveyor belt's endlessly moving through this enormous machine. The coconut tree carried by the conveyor belt is processed and eventually made into this stupid thing. the Monokumas are being tossed into this gigantic basket, one after the other. They better not be real. I picked one up with my hand. I see. So these are plushies. Monokuma plushies. Ah, the real Monokuma's sort of like a plushie too. But unlike him, these are probably actual plushies. Ahem. Isn't the resemblance uncanny? They're my life-size plushies. Well, life-size plushies. I was planning to hit the big time with these. That's why I'm making them like crazy. I'm gonna be rich. So you're just trying to make money off of this stuff. But you've made way too many. You're gonna be overstocked when it's all said and done. Monokuma's life-size plushie. I don't get it. I see. So this place is for manufacturing life-size Monokuma plushies. What kind of messed up place is this? Don't look down on me! You really think it's just for life-size plushies? There's a lot more Monokuma merch in the goods warehouse next door. What should we do? Honestly, I really don't feel like going. But what if there's some kind of important clue? What are you gonna do? You're right, and we should go there for just a little while. Alright. And after I look at all the buildings, I'll end the stream. It's gonna be kinda late, but... and time's going by so fast. There's nothing here. It's packaged up stuff. Without thinking, I peeked into the piled up stacks of cardboard boxes. There's a Monokuma calendar, a Monokuma sandbag, and even a Monokuma guitar. So I guess they're all just all in the boxes. First, there was the Monokuma archive in the funhouse. Now there's a plushie factory and all these goods. How full of himself is he? Mascot popularity doesn't last forever. I gotta earn the big bucks while I can. A mascot that isn't popular anymore is like a piece of candy without any sugar. In other words, it has no reason for existing. He's starting to talk even crazier. It's like I can tell just from the ambience that there are no important clues here. Well, at least we confirmed that. This looks like a Monokuma panel, but why so many? I was thinking about using these to decorate the stores that sell my merch and make them look all boom. Then they'd stand out, you know? No store would sell your stuff. Of course not, you're such a fool. That's why I'll open an official Monokuma shop. I'm thinking about opening chains all over the world. Of course, the main attraction will be my life-size Monokuma plushie. I can't believe you thought that far into the future when you made these. Your business is doomed to fail. Enough already, you have no business sense anyway, just stop. Hey, don't say that. Let's do our best together. We'll be as popular as Pogs that were in the 90s. Don't you remember how long those stayed popular? Besides, if you're serious about opening a business, you've already committed a major mistake. Because there's no merch of me. Oh, mon ami, my little sister. Don't you know the Aesop's fable about the rabbit and the bear? Not a tortoise? A long time ago, there were these two old guys. Two old guys living together? The old guys thought rabbits aren't as popular as bears. The end. What? Did you even meet the old guys in that story? So even if I made merch of you, it's pointless. A half-pink rabbit is so lame. You don't even have 1 ounce of good fashion sense. You did this to me. You're the one who has no fashion sense.
ほらほらほらほらほらほらほらほらほら
And again, the abuse.
やれやれな逆にレップリでちゅー。そぼー
But honestly, I can't help but feel like I might have made too many panels.
手伝い
So whoever wants to decorate the room, please do as much as you like.
どうぞ
Come on, what are you waiting for? Hajime, let's run. You're right. We ran out of the warehouse, narrowly avoiding Monokuma's plan for inventory disposal. It's like you just got tired. Yeah, you're right. Let's get out of here now. Alright, I've saved to a new file now. This is the military base. That thing over there. Is that a tank? Is it real? Not just that, there's a lot of other stuff here that looks really dangerous. Alright, well, you know what? I'll come back to everything else in tomorrow's stream. But I definitely gotta spend a lot of time investigating the island and trying to lead up to the next incident. We might not hit the next incident in tomorrow's stream, but we'll see. But yes, another stream, another class trial in the books. Again, absolutely not surprised about Gundam ending up being one of the killers. He was one of the people I suspected, so I am giving myself the point for that. Because again, it's so, especially with this trial, it was impossible for me to think of anybody that could have been suspicious. But Gundam and Sonya, it was like they just dipped together without a word to anybody else. That felt suspicious to me. It wasn't the reason that Gundam was picked. It wasn't the reason that Gundam ended up being guilty. But that was the reason why I thought he was suspicious. Fuyuhiko, I thought was suspicious because he was up at 5 when everybody else was asleep, and he witnessed Nekomaru walking down the stairs. That to me told me that he was the one who messed with the clocks so that everybody else was asleep and that he lured Nekomaru. But no, that wasn't the case. He just couldn't sleep. I just simply completely forgot that Gundam was staying in a deluxe room, and that's what gave himself away. The fact that, and it was said at the very beginning of when the incident happened. The minute it was revealed that Gundam was in the lounge, responding to the alarm, was the dead giveaway, because Nagito wasn't there. Nagito was also in a deluxe room. He didn't hear anything, because the deluxe rooms are supposed to be soundproof. So if Gundam was responding to the alarm, that means he was never in his room. So that was the dead giveaway for him, and good riddance to him. That he was absolutely annoying. But yes, that'll do it for today's stream. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow, where we will continue with this game. I'm continuing with this game all the way until it is done. I'm really excited to finish this up and get to the third game. So, I'll see you all then. Have a great night, everybody. The time really does go really fast, though. It ended pretty quick.